Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got something really exciting for us to check out. My Rift Runners TCG Kickstarter package. A couple things to go over. I backed this game at the $75 sampler tier because I thought that was one of the best sample tiers I've seen in a Kickstarter in a long time for all the things that are stuffed inside this box. On top of, I am somewhat second-handly associated with Rift Runners for the fact that I work with Speed Robo Games. I am their organized play advisor on top of a few other things, and Rift Runner is published by Speed Robo Games, but that does not change my opinion on anything. On top of, if it's published or produced or helped created by Speed Robo Games, it's most likely a great product. Rift Runners is part of the big VTuber TCG craze that's been going on. It was the first. It came out before V-Card or anything like that, or Oshi Push, but unfortunately it is now kind of tainted with the rest of those names. But I think what Rift Runners did differently compared to a lot of other people is they put the gameplay first. The gameplay is very reminiscent of 2007 to 2010 Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is great. It's got just enough complexity to make the game fun and really get your brain going, but at the same time, it's not slogged down with all the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Issues or a lot of other modern trading card issues, to be honest, that I've noticed so far. In the $75 tier, along with these two beautiful promos that all backers received, you get one copy of the Blazing Glory and Royal Domain starter decks, as well as one copy of Icy Ascension and Magical Mayhem, or Magic and Mayhem starter decks, on top of a plethora of sample packs to try. Now I will say I ripped a few packs for another video that's working on being uploaded, so we're short a few packs here, but you originally received 10 packs of their newest set, Mystic Uprising, 5 packs of Shimmering Waves, and 5 packs of Frost and Flames. Now what I want to do here is I want to take a couple of each of these, and we're going to rip them and look at them together, where the rest are going to be saved for some what's in the packs. Get this box out of the way. So while Rift Runners is a VTuber TCG, something I do applaud them on is they seem to be one of the most tame when it comes to art for the talents that they used in the game. Where a lot of the other games are just really hard to even kind of bring out around your like friends and family and show off. Where Rift Runner, some cards can be a little more on the sexual side, admittedly, but that's not terrible. We all love our waifus. But in general, you won't be scared to have this out at the local game shop. You won't be scared to try to show it off to people. I like that they used a clean foil for this game. You know, I do love a lot of busy foils, a lot of other games do, but sometimes the art itself is all you really need to be focusing on. Rift Runners has a few mechanically unique things that they do that I like. Just like they have a sacrifice mechanic, but instead of it being sacrifice and get rid of, it's similar to XZ summoning in Yu-Gi-Oh!, where you lay the card that you're summoning over top of the cards that you're using to sacrifice. And I believe that some cards even have discard abilities to discard some of those cards underneath of them to activate abilities. Ooh, I like this one, Professor Wonder. Alright, she's cute too. I'm a sucker for anything dark and occult. You all know this. The other interesting thing I think that Rift Runner does really well is they have what's called the Monarch system. Similar-esque to like a commander system for Magic Commander, where you have a leader. It dictates certain things you can do. Penguin Search Team, that's really cute. And Peppy Penguins. Okay, let's go. But it has some interesting things you can do in the game, depending who your monarch is. Let's see if I can find us a monarch card real quick. Oh, here we go. Innkeeper Hyro. So this is your monarch. It acts as a leader. This card does not fight, but has triggerable abilities. This one says, Monarch effect. If your opponent's fighter battles a warrior fighter you control, all HP damage to your opponent is doubled. The other interesting thing I think they do is the fact that these monarch cards dictate how your field can be set up and played. If you notice, we have 3 columns of 4, but some of them are marked out with red X's. If you somehow were playing a monarch with a full board, that would allow you to have 2 rows of 4 fighters equaling 8 fighters, and 1 row of action and counter abilities, 4 action and counter abilities. But as we can see on this card, we are allowed to have 3 in the front, 2 on the very outside in the next row, and 2 in the very center for our action and counters. So that creates a very interesting dynamic when you're building your decks of how much presence can you really have on the board, and are you more of a creature fighter deck, or are you more of a spell slinging deck? Ooh, and look at that one. Unfortunately, I haven't got to play a whole lot of Rift Runners. I played literally about 2 turn phases so far. Now that I have this all in my hands, though, we will definitely be getting some games in with my wife that plays games with me, as well as trying to get some of the guys at the locals just to try it out and play it with me. Let me know down in the comments, have I pulled your favorite VTuber so far? Is your favorite VTuber even in Rift Runners? Have you got to play Rift Runners? Are you enjoying it? Do you want to check out Rift Runners? Something else I think they're doing really interesting, because their Kickstarter was fully successful and funded. Well, not fully successful. They didn't reach every stretch goal, but they reached the majority of them. But the most interesting one to me is the fact that they have announced that they are doing, wow, all of a sudden the Mystic Uprising packs are a lot harder to open. 1 second. One thing I think is really interesting, and I will definitely be checking out myself as someone who is a competitive player for a lot of games he plays, even if it's just playing wonky, wacky stuff, is they announced that they will be doing an official nationwide tournament league that will end in the very first Rift Runners Nationals event. I think that's really cool. I think that's a very ambitious goal for an indie TCG, and I hope that they succeed. I really want to see more people putting more emphasis behind, oh wow, look at that. That is beautiful. I didn't even know there was full arts like this in this game. Oh, and that's a monarch card? That's cool. Oh, and look, they changed the field layout with the newest set. I at least like the icons on the back. I like that. As you can see on this one, she seems to be a little more balanced between creature and spell slinging. So that's cool. I'm definitely going to be looking into her for potentially being my first deck. But like I was saying, that's super cool. It's super interesting that they're trying to run a tournament circuit like that. I wish more indie TCGs would do stuff like that and put a higher focus on the player base, the actual player base, and not just collectors. But I think that's a really good sign from such a game that is held up by a community like VTubers. Because let's be honest, most VTubers and people that enjoy VTubers probably aren't card gamers. But this is the exact type of stuff, I'm looking at you, V-Card, that people should be doing to cross those 2 bridges and communities together, instead of a lot of the other stuff we've been seeing go on lately. Let's see if we can have luck on one more. Oh, look at that. That's sick. That was great pull rates. Alright, these cards are beautiful. I gotta give it to them. All the people who put the work into Rift Runners, they deserve all the applause, all the praise. They are definitely the best VTuber TCG that we have on the market right now, and probably the best VTuber TCG that we're going to have on the market. To the point, to be honest, I stopped creating my own VTuber TCG and have been working on rewrapping it in a new theme and design because I think they're going to dominate the market and I want to see them dominate the market. Again, this was an opening of our Rift Runners Kickstarter package. This was the $75 sampler tier. I think this is an amazing thing. I think more companies should look at releasing Kickstarter tiers like this, especially at such a good price point. That is 4 decks and over 20 packs of cards for $75. Most Kickstarters don't even have anything remotely close to that on their release. Most games can't even give you structure decks in that quantity at that number. So they're obviously doing something right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you like seeing more stuff like this in the future, because I'll definitely be doing more as I get more Kickstarter items and more mail items in. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week, night, or wherever you're at in the world. I hope you accomplish your goals. And until next time, keep doing good things. Peace out.